Welcome to this demo of the Cardano transaction editor. I am Oscar, the author of this tool, which provides you with an editor-based approach to interact with the Cardano blockchain instead of the instruction-based approach offered by the Cardano CLI, the command line interface. In the description of this video, you will find a link to the GitHub repository where I have written an extensive documentation on how to install and use this tool. This demo will be a tour of the functionality rather than a tutorial. This is my minimalist editor and has been enhanced to interact with the Cardano network. Let's first check if our Cardano node is fully synced. The function cardano-cli tip will query the node and display its results. As you see at the bottom of the screen, color-coded, get information of the tip of the blockchain and that we are fully synced. The next thing to do is to create some keys inside of a wallet and the corresponding addresses. The function Cardano address new key files helps you with this task. I will create 3 keys, first, second, and third. Hit enter. As you read at the bottom of the screen, the keys have been created. To retrieve the addresses, the function Cardano address elm lists the named address available inside your wallet. Select on any of them, it will be copied to the clipboard. For that, I will first paste it for you on the editor so you can read it. This is the address you will use to receive funds. In the case of the test network, as I am doing in this demo, you can use the testnet faucet to fund this address. Now, let's do something more interesting. Let's use the transaction editor. The function cardano-tx new launches the editor. The editor knows which UTXOs are under your control and offers you that selection as soon as you launch it. I will select the second UTXO I have. Then the editor asks you to which address you would like to send within your wallet. This is for your change address. I will take the first address. In Cardano, which uses the UTXO model, transactions are composed of inputs and outputs. And within the transaction editor, I'm trying to display this as human readable as possible. This is the most basic transaction you can have in Cardano, where you spend one input and generate one output. And all the amount from this input will be transferred to the second address minus the transactions. Now, this transaction is rather boring because what you generally want to do is to pay into an address and then keep the change. To do that, I just extend this transaction. For the purpose of this demo, I will use addresses within my wallet. So I will use again the function Cardano address elm. I'll pick the third address and I will paste it. If you hover over an address, the transaction editor will decompose it to you. It will tell you this is a testnet address, the public key hash, and the staking credential of the address. Likewise, if you were to click on top of a UTXO, you will see at the bottom of the screen its contents. Now that we have our target address, we need to specify the amount of data we want to send to it. For that, we write amount and then the asset, Lovelace in this case. I will send 100 ADA or 100 million Lovelace. The editor automatically injects underscores to separate big numbers. This is a great visual help. The underscores don't really exist. You cannot select them. They are only a visual help. Now we have crafted the transaction. To send it, you use the shortcut Ctrl+C, Ctrl+C. Now this transaction fails and you see the error message at the bottom of the screen. We do not have enough funds from the UTXO we are spending. As the error message suggests, we either need to use an UTXO with more funds or use more UTXOs as inputs. Let's take that second option. and select with the function cardano-ex helm UTXO, again from our available UTXOs. I will think the first one has enough funds. And that's it. Now I have a 2 input, 2 output transaction. And I will try to submit it. Control C again. This time everything clears. And as you see at the bottom of the screen, a message, transaction successfully submitted, tells you everything went fine. It also copied the transaction ID of this transaction into the clipboard, or as we know it in Emacs, the kill ring. You can inspect this transaction inside an Explorer. I'm using the ADA Tools Explorer. Paste the transaction. As you see, it was just created today as only 2 confirmations. This is the transaction we crafted. You're spending 2 inputs. You're generating 2 outputs. The 100 ADA wanted and the change.